Hi, it's Uncle Ricky, also known by the name my mother gave me, Derek Ransom. And I just want to discuss a little bit of personal news that made me happy. Today I got on the scales and I weighed 232 pounds. That's right, 232 pounds. Now, all you, what I could say, that never cracked 180 in your life would probably say, "Well, Uncle Ricky, that means you're still a fat son of a bitch." But what I must say to you, disrespectfully even, is fuck you. Because you don't know my story. 14 months ago, right in the middle of the COVID-19 pandemic, I was a sick person. Not mentally. I'm still sick mentally, but physically I was a wreck. I was morbidly obese at 297 pounds. That came from years of bad eating habits, the wrong food, too much starch, too much sugar, not enough exercise, not enough sleep, not enough water. Just living the American life, living the dream. Well, as I got older, my metabolism slowed down, my resistance broke down, and different systems in my body started to fucking shut down. Diagnosed with congestive heart failure. I don't know if you know what that is, but I do. It means when your heart muscle becomes hardened from living with too many years of high blood pressure, untreated high blood pressure, your heart muscle becomes hardened, muscle bound, and it's unable to completely cycle the heart through its intake and outtake cycles. My outtake cycle was always lacking, which caused me to retain fluid. Fluid has volume, and therefore it has weight, and all that fluid collected in my belly. I looked like a pregnant elephant for years. Didn't know why. You know, you had that pot belly, and you just thought it was old age, and you couldn't get rid of it. Well, that was caused by the congestive heart failure. Then, because of all the fat, I wasn't producing enough insulin to handle the starch, converting to sugar. Guess what happened next? Yep, that's right. Type 2 diabetes. Full blown. 2 different kinds of insulin. One kind once a day. The other one 3 times a day with meals. That's 4 insulin shots a day. 20 units in one and 5 units in each of the other ones. That's another 15. That's 35 units of insulin a day. The federal government, President Biden's administration, just capped the price of insulin at $35, which is good because I deal with the VA and I get a discount because the drug, I just have to pay the copay. And I'm gonna tell you, it's still, I hate to imagine I can't imagine what it's like for people that are paying on insurance, and God bless those that don't have insurance, because I know they can't afford it. That's why people are dropping like flies from quote unquote natural causes, but they're being executed by high prices and the economy. But moving right along with the good news, I'm here today at 232 pounds. 297 14 months ago, 232 today. You do the math, people in the middle. And while you're counting your fingers and toes, I want you to understand that my recovery, I explain it like this. First, it was God, because He allowed me to live, to have a chance to make a choice, and I chose to live. Then it was the self-determination it took to get me off that deathbed, literally, to get my ass off that deathbed and to find an exercise routine that my body could handle and work its way into. I chose stationary bike. Then to learn how to eat right. Grown man, 60-some years old, had to learn how to eat right, what to eat, when to eat, and how to eat it. The next thing, I had to have the willpower to combine the exercise and the eating and my routine so that I couldn't build in, a handy escape route, trapdoor, and eventually fuck myself. Well, now here I am, 14 months later. I do 12 miles a day at 63, soon to be 64 years old, on a stationary bike, and it's not set on the easiest setting. It's an uphill grade. Yeah, I'm proud of that. I'm real proud of that. But all of that happened, worked, because I had autonomy over my own body. I got to control what I could do with my body to make my body the way that I wanted it to be, so that I could use my body to make my life into what I wanted it to be. Thank God for living in America. Oops, hold up. Wait a minute. Let's check that. Fact check tells me that I am only partially correct. If a certain portion of conservative justices on the Supreme Court have their way, only men will have complete autonomy over their bodies. Women, once this decision comes down and becomes law, will effectively become. That's right. If the leaked decision comes down without any changes, if the decision stays the way that it is already written, American women will effectively become fucking slaves. Women have had autonomy or control over their bodies, their reproductive functions, for the past 50 years. The original verdict handed down in the Roe versus Wade decision said that women were covered under the 14th Amendment as citizens. Therefore, they had all the rights of any citizens, of all citizens, the same rights as men. But somehow, some way, our Christo-fascist, theocratarian, right-wing, ultra-conservative nutjob assholes, which we now have at least 4 certified nutjobs sitting on the Supreme Court, decided that when Mississippi brought a case that tested the sanctity of Roe versus Wade via the 14th Amendment, decided that their predecessors just didn't know what the fuck they were doing. So now the ultra-conservative five, Thomas, Alito, Gorsuch, Kavanaugh, and the favorite American judicial cheerleader, Coney Bryant, first name Amy, decided to turn back the hands of time, back beyond the 50 years that have passed since the original writing of Roe versus Wade. This is an atrocity. This is a small group of small thinking people, narrow-minded people, trying to make America into their own image. Unfortunately, their image involves a lot of people being treated as less than human beings. A lot of people being treated as less than the American citizens that they are. This is tragic. But if we don't do something soon, if we don't start reforming things, if we don't start electing competent, I don't care which party you're in, if we don't start electing competent individuals that care about the real rule of law instead of don't do as I say, don't do as I say, don't do as I do type grandstanding assholes that we have now, America might as well start singing taps, because democracy is done. And when democracy is done, we're done. Well, thank you for joining me at Uncle Ricky's house one more time. For all you people in the middle, you know what it is. We do the most, we are the most, and we get screwed the most. It's time to change that shit. Good night and God bless from Uncle Ricky at Uncle Ricky's house.